Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to do a commentary on Daniel Pulido. And there's been a lot of people asking for this guy, so I figured it's finally time to get around to him. So here we go.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, Sammy?
Hey, come on in.
Where are you?
I gotta finish brushing my teeth, okay?
Okay,
Just wait at the counter for a second.
okay.
We had already done 2 investigations. Going into this third one, I wondered to myself, what if nobody shows up? I mean,
It's funny, he's wondering if anyone's going to show up, and it turns out to be the more guys show up there than any other sting.
people must know that Dateline is out there doing another investigation. Well, in fact, we had guys show up who had seen our previous shows.
They could probably put a sign on the front lawn that says, filming to catch a predator inside, and they'd probably still get guys coming in.
And came in anyway. And Daniel Pulido was one of them. How are you tonight? Why don't you have a seat right there, please? And do me a favor and keep your hands out of your pockets, okay?
That's one thing. I think the show got better as it went along, because they started having the long, especially in the later ones, and even the Hansen versus Predator, they would just have more chat between the decoy and the predator before Chris came out. And I think that was like the perfect format, is they lure them in, bit of talk between the decoy and the predator, then Chris comes out, and then you have him talk to them for a bit, then they go out and get arrested, and then you have their interrogation. That was like, they had it perfected, and now it's in the takedown ones, they changed up a bit, and it's not quite the same, but for a while, even these ones, this is still a fairly early sting, but it's there's a lot of gems in it. And I know a lot has been made about whether or not Daniel Pulido is high. Quite frankly, I don't really care. It's maybe it's kind of funny to discuss. Maybe he is, but either way, it doesn't really affect what he was there to do. It's either way, it's horrible. So like, who cares if he's stoned or not? It might maybe explain some of his bizarre behavior and statements, but yeah, it doesn't concern me.
What are you up to tonight?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No,
Nothing or nothing good?
nothing good.
Nothing good.
No.
Yeah, who are you here to see?
I go on the internet.
The girl on the internet. And what is that girl's name?
I think it was Sammy.
Sammy.
Yeah.
Right. And how old is Sammy?
I don't know. She said that she was 14.
And how old are you?
I'm 40.
40. And
Yeah, do you see a problem with that, Daniel?
you think it's okay to come
No,
see
it's
a
not.
13-year-old
No, it's
girl
not.
at 40?
It's not okay.
Then why did you do it?
You know what?
What?
It's gonna seem crazy,
Try me.
Let me guess, you came to see a guy named John Pedersen about a job.
but I was gonna tell her that there's a lot of people do that stuff like that. I wasn't gonna do anything to her because it happened to one of my cousins.
And then he goes into this long story about how one of his young female relatives had actually been killed by a potential predator. What happened to one?
He's going with the Stosh story about he's there to save a family member.
Of your cousins.
She got raped,
Really?
and
By somebody she met on the
yes,
internet?
Yes. And
And how old is that cousin of yours?
she's dead. She's dead.
She's dead.
That story took a dark turn. Look at Chris's head right when he says she's dead. He like perks up for a second.
And how old is that cousin of yours?
She's dead. She's dead.
She's dead.
Yes.
Like, obviously, I bet you going through Chris's mind is like, yeah, this guy's full of shit. This story's a lie. But on the 1% chance that it's not a lie, he has to tread carefully, because if he starts accusing him of lying and making fun of the story and then finds out that it's real, he's going to look like a huge asshole.
She was killed?
Well, the first time that she got raped, she didn't get killed, but she got killed after that.
What? Okay, I'm assuming that this story is not true. Why is he overcomplicating it? So there's multiple incidents. So she basically got sexually assaulted by a stranger she met off the internet and survived, and then again went out to meet another stranger off the internet and was killed? Is that what he's saying?
Your cousin was raped
Yes.
by someone she met on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And how old was she?
She was 16.
16.
Yes, sir.
That must have had a big impact on your family.
Tell me about it.
And what was her name? We looked into Pulido's story, and we were unable to confirm that in
Yeah, of course.
fact it had happened. So,
And he says it's his cousin. I think it's a bit more, maybe, I don't know if he's smarter, but thing is, like, with that Stosh guy who had the whole thing about his missing sister, a sister would be more, if you looked into his story, it'd be easier to disprove, because they could just contact his immediate family members and say, hey, is this guy's sister murdered or whatever? And they would find out he's lying. With a cousin, it's kind of like part of the extended family, and they could look into it and it could be like, oh, no, it's my second cousin. I barely knew them. It's my third cousin. Or they could be like, actually, it was just this family friend like that we called cousins because we grew up together, but we're not really related. It kind of just puts a bit of distance in between there. So he's hoping that they can't look into this by just, going on my Facebook or whatever and looking at my immediate family. I'm guessing that's why he said cousin. Or it's possible that that's just the bullshit he came up with on the spot.
So based upon that, you decided to come over here and tell Sammy about the dangers of talking to strangers on the internet.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of these guys I've been covering have been saying this lately about they're the hero who came over to do this. If you were really concerned about them, Daniel, you could have contacted the police or some sort of authority to come over there and explain the situation. You could have also done it over text or over the phone. There's no good that can come of you driving all the way over there to say that.
And what were you going to tell her?
I was going to tell her, look, you know what? If you keep doing this, I mean, there's no other people like me, but there's other people that is kind of dangerous, and they can do it to you. I know I show myself to her on the internet.
What do you mean you showed yourself to her?
Don't pretend like you don't know what he means. He must already assume that Chris has the chat log and is going to bring that up. So he figures, hey, if I bring up the fact that I exposed myself to her myself, it'll make it look as though I have nothing to hide. Where it basically just completely blows his story out of the water. If you went over there with only the intention of protecting this young girl from dangers on the internet, you showing her your genitals is the danger she needs to be protected from. So clearly you are one of the predators and not one of the saviors.
I mean, I show her my webcam.
Yes.
I showed her my webcam. No, you showed her your penis on the webcam. You did not show her the webcam.
And that's the only reason, because, I mean, people like that get killed.
So I'm confused. You showed her what on your webcam?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Me. Be specific, Daniel. Something tells me it was a very specific part of your body that you showed her. You can't just say me.
Doing what?
She's naked.
Naked.
Just naked. Nothing weird to be sending to a 14-year-old. Just me naked.
To get her attention.
You pose naked.
And to get her attention, you already had her attention. You were already talking to her. Why do you need to show yourself naked? That's more likely to scare the girl. If you're trying to come over to her house to help her, that's more likely to get her to be like, ew, I don't want this fat 40-year-old guy showing me his dick. She's more likely to not invite you over. Your story's bullshit, Daniel.
Naked on your webcam.
Mm-hmm.
So a 13-year-old girl could see it because you wanted to teach her a lesson.
Well, you can say that.
Yeah. So this is like a tough love thing? No. I'm not there to be a detective. I'm there to get information as a reporter. And obviously I'm not going to let them take advantage of me, if I'm getting jerked around. But I'm there to get information, not to,
Daniel's the one that wanted to get jerked around.
punish these guys. Well, what is it exactly?
It's like I told you, just to make sure that, she don't do stuff like that.
Get attention. So you sent these...
So he sent her pictures of his penis in order to go over there and tell her that there are dangerous people out there who will send pictures of their penis and then drive to her house. I don't think you thought this through, Daniel.
You allowed her to see these pictures of yourself.
Yes.
This.
Yes.
That's you.
Yeah.
And you're, what, masturbating there?
Playing with myself.
Playing with yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
And you knew that a 13-year-old girl was going to see those.
Yeah, and exactly. Okay, you shouldn't be sending her any sort of naked pictures. But why do you also have to be masturbating in those pictures? Why would you have to go that far just to get her attention? That is such a stupid thing.
Yes.
And you did this just to teach her a lesson.
Well, basically, yeah.
Yeah, you could tell by that sigh that he's starting to realize that his story may not be as convincing as it sounded in his head.
It's just to teach her a lesson.
Well, basically, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Do you see why that's hard to believe?
I know, yeah, it is. It is.
First of all, you lied and told her you were 30, and you're really 40.
I'm 40.
Right.
And again, what's the point of lying and telling her that you're an age that would still seem old to a teenager, and it's still blatantly illegal? Unless you're lying about being 17, where it's you yourself are under the age of majority, there's no point in lying about it. Whether you're 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, all those ages, even early 20s, we've seen guys who are like 20, 21, sometimes even 19, they get caught doing this and they still get busted. So what? How is it going to benefit you by tricking her into thinking you're 30?
Exactly.
You say you're cute. You don't look 13. You ask where she is, just asking because I'm naked. Right. You ever see a naked guy before? You ever feel a blank before?
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you done? Did you like it? How old was the guy? Will you give a slang for oral sex? But remember, I'm 30.
Does anyone else find it disturbing that all of these guys, like, they just ask so many questions like that? Like, do people do that? I've never, even like women I've been in relationships with, regardless of the length, I've never just asked them, like, tell me exactly what you've done with a guy. How old was he? How many times did you do that? Have you ever done this? I never even thought to do that. Even when I was like young and inexperienced, that never crossed my mind, just to ask them like dozens and dozens of questions just to learn every single thing that they have or have not done or what they're willing to do. I can't be the only one that just finds that repulsive. I think what it is some of them, they want to know if the girl's still a virgin. They want to know like how quote unquote pure she is, as gross as that sounds. But they also want to know, what are they willing to do? Like, how far are they willing to go? And they want to know, like, I don't want to waste my time going over there. So I'm going to figure out exactly what she's done before, because if she's done it once, she'll probably do it again. And they'll ask her what she's willing to do. And if she promises to do these things, then it's worth my time and worth the risk to go there. Is that what they're thinking? If not, if I'm off base, like, shed some light on that. But I just find the whole thing disturbing that they all do that, just all with the questions.
It sounds like you wanted to date her, not teach her a lesson about the dangers of it. I mean, I guess she would have learned about the dangers of the internet had I not been there and had she been here, huh?
Well, you gotta make it sound like that, so they can believe me.
And have you done this sort of thing before, where you've tried to teach a girl a lesson?
No, this is the very, very first time I do this.
Very first time. Why even talk to somebody who you think is 13 years old, huh? It was stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It was not stupid. It was illegal and immoral and vile and disgusting.
So why don't you?
I'm gonna tell you straight up. I had a stepdaughter.
Yeah.
And she.
Yeah, just you saying that immediately makes me tense up a little bit. There's no way that this story is going to be anything positive. Someone who is literally caught in To Catch a Predator starts a story with, you know what? I had a stepdaughter. It's like, oh God, this is not going to be something that's going to be like, you know what, Daniel? This story you just told vindicates you. It actually made me realize you're not a bad guy. It's either going to be a neutral, stupid story, or it's going to make you look bad. I haven't seen this segment in like a long time, so I can't even remember what the story is. So let's see.
It was we separated from my wife. I have a 5-year-old kid.
Right.
And my stepdaughter, and at the moment she was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing the same thing, playing on the internet.
Right.
And she met a guy. He wasn't old enough, but he was like 17, but she was 14 at the moment. And I swear I got so pissed. I even told my ex, you know what, I don't want her. She's not gonna go by the rules in the house.
So wait.
Yeah, wait. I'll let Chris take this one.
So you're telling me that you had a 14-year-old stepdaughter who met a guy on the internet to have sex.
No. She met him, just to be friends.
To be friends. And that upset you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're upset and you didn't want her meeting guys on the internet.
Her, why you gotta go.
So you walk into this house to meet a 13-year-old girl. Why is that okay?
Yeah. And that kid was 17 that did that. You're freaking 40. That is way, way worse. Yeah, what a stupid story. He's trying to make it look like, hey, this similar thing happened to me with my stepdaughter, and I was angry about it. Therefore, you must understand why I would never do anything bad. And it further goes to add credibility to my story that I came here to help this girl like I did to my stepdaughter. Nah, he was probably, I don't know if he ever did anything to that stepdaughter, maybe, maybe not, but he was probably eyeing her up. And part of me makes me wonder if he was just angry at the fact that some other man or boy was going to have her, and he didn't want that going on in his house, as he says. Maybe I'm just so used to hating on these predators that I just think the worst of them, but to be honest, that would not surprise me. Like his story, yeah, that story didn't do anything to help it. It just makes him, it looks like a hypocrite. It's like you did the exact same thing that you just made a big production out of hating, and then you went and did that same thing when you're like more than twice the age of the guy that you got angry for doing it with your stepdaughter.
You know, as a parent, you know, when somebody comes in and tells me a story like Pulido did about how his stepdaughter had met somebody online, and he's all upset about that when it comes to his stepdaughter, but he's willing to walk into somebody else's house and meet somebody else's daughter? I mean, that's the ultimate hypocrisy.
Yep, exactly.
Would you be okay if a grown man of 40 years old walked into your home to meet your daughter?
Of course not. Of course not.
Then why is it okay for you to do this?
I know, stupid. Very stupid.
So that all that stuff about teaching her a lesson and being the protector, that's a big lie. Then.
No, it's what I was going to tell her too.
Why couldn't you just tell her
I don't know.
in the internet? Why couldn't you just?
Yeah, exactly. Like some of these guys, they had to go there to talk some sense into this young girl who was, you know, not living her life straight or whatever stupid reasoning they have. It's like you could do that over text or the telephone. There, or even these current days, there's even more ways to do it than there was back then. So there's no reason you have to drive to their house to meet them alone. Or why wouldn't you just ask to speak with their parents or something? Like, let me know when your parents are home. I want to talk to them, or find some other way to do it. No one is going to want, regardless of their intent, some 40-year-old man to drive to their house to be alone with their teenage daughter, talking to her when they're not home. There's no good that can come of that.
You say this is a bad idea. You're young. You shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, it's true.
Why not call this internet service provider and say, look, there's a girl here. She might be in danger.
It's true.
But you didn't do any of that, did you?
No.
No, you came here. Did you bring condoms with you?
No, you sent her a picture or sent her pictures of video of yourself masturbating and then drove to her house.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I did.
You did bring condoms.
Yes, I did.
Did he just say no? You sure? Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to do well in an interrogation if he can't even keep his lie up for that long.
You didn't do any of that, did you?
No.
No, you came here. Did you bring condoms with you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I did.
You did bring condoms.
Yes, I did.
And what part of the lesson?
I wasn't going to use them. I was going to give them to her.
You were going to give her condoms.
And tell her, look, if you want to do this, it's I want your own.
All right. So
Wasn't his mission, though, to come over and tell her not to do it? Or was he going to come over and be like, hey, you should not be meeting old men for sex that you meet on the internet. However, if you're going to do it, here's some condoms to use. Wow, Daniel, you are a true American hero.
So you just came over to tell her it's a bad idea to talk to guys on the internet, but if you're going to talk, here, use some condoms. Danny, that doesn't wash.
I know.
It doesn't wash.
Even realizes, yeah, I know. My story is freaking stupid.
Well, I'm sorry.
Why don't you start again and just tell me what your plan was tonight?
Just to meet her.
Just to meet her.
Yeah.
So now he's changing his story. He's going from the whole savior hero excuse to the I was just going to hang out with condoms.
But the condoms, the sex talk.
I know. I never done this before. I mean, I have never been in problems with the police.
Do you ever watch TV, Danny?
Yes.
Do you ever watch Dateline NBC?
Yes.
Have you ever seen our stories on computer predators?
Yes.
This is one of them. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to say for yourself,
No, that's it.
then obviously you're free to leave.
Thank you.
I think some of these guys truly believe that Dateline can't be everywhere. You know, what are the odds of it happening to me?
Yeah, which is true. I mean, that is completely a logical thing to think, is that it's a big country and they can really only do these stings in one place at a time. And a lot of the time, it's not even in like a big city, it's in like a small town. Some of them are just like in small rural places. So what are the odds that it would be in your neighborhood or somewhere nearby? But a lot of guys probably thought that, and they were wrong about it.
Law enforcement can't be everywhere.
You just have to, well, first of all, never do this to begin with. But if you are a predator and doing this, you have to assume that Chris Hansen's everywhere, that no matter where you are, it's going to be a sting. There are stings that don't involve him, but you just have to always assume that he's lurking around the corner and that he's coming for you. So you should immediately cease your illegal actions and then just figure out something else to do.
I'm not going to get caught.
Walk all the way to the street.
Stop.
Turn around.
There's another group of guys.
What was he saying? Do you mind if I something? What?
Walk all the way to the street.
Stop.
He said, do you mind if I just... And then I didn't hear what he said.
Turn around.
There's
If anyone knows what he said, let me know.
another group of guys who I think, are so caught up in the chats and the addictions of the porn sites that they get to a point where nothing will satisfy them but a face-to-face meeting. And that's when they blur that line between fantasy and reality, and that's when we see them show up at one of our houses.
Yep, Chris is exactly right. That's just how it works. They just escalate it to a point where looking at porn and chatting is not enough. They have this opportunity and they go for it. And there's probably a lot of guys that kept it at chatting. They kept it in the fantasy, and they, it's still gross, but they're less likely to get caught. And then you get the guys, the most dangerous ones, who are willing to travel. They're willing to drive to this young girl's house or young boy's house. Yeah, those are like the worst guys. So those are the ones you have to catch. But by that point, it's like they're so gone. They're thinking with their dick, for lack of a better way to explain it. All logical thinking just goes out the window, and they just go ahead with it. It makes me wonder, like, people who are like professional thieves, robbers, drug dealers. I don't think they suffer from the same thing. They probably have like a higher degree of paranoia. They probably really think about things before they do it. And if they get spooked by something like this sounds like it might be a setup, they're more likely to be like, hey, I don't trust this. I'm backing out. Like they're aware of their surroundings. They're aware of just everything, basically. It seems like this is the one type of crime where the guys are just so driven to do it by impulse that they'll fall for stupid tricks like this. It doesn't mean it's in any way not their fault. It just somehow makes it worse. Someone that can't control their impulses and is willing to harm a child just for their own sexual pleasure is a horrible, like pretty much the worst type of criminal. Yeah, hopefully Daniel Pulido got punished for it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see everyone next time.